So we've decided to call this our autumnal acrylic paint pour. I've got my friend Karen here with me today.
Hi.
Come and put your hands in, they can see you. So we're going to do 2 different types of pours. She is going to do a dirty cup, free flow, autumnal pour. And I'm going to do a puddle pour, and you'll see what that looks like. So what we have here is our white. We have a dark raw umber that we mixed some black into so that it was really, really dark, like that. And then this one is mostly burnt sienna and a little bit of poppy orange just to brighten it up a little bit.
And a drop of red.
Oh yeah, we did put a drop of red. That's what you're here for. And you see all those bubbles in there? What we did was we put our paint in, and then first of all we put our Benjamin Moore paint extender, about maybe 4 parts to 1, 4 parts paint to 1 part Benjamin Moore paint extender. And to thin it out to the consistency of, you said whipping cream?
Whipping cream before it's whipped.
Whipping cream before it's whipped. And then, lastly, we put in a couple of squeezes of watery, dish soapy water in each of these, just to thin it out, just to this consistency.
And to keep it clean.
Yes, it will be very clean.
It's a clean dirty pour.
Hey, I think you just made up a new thing. That's awesome. Okay, so Karen's going to do her dirty pour cup. So she's going to start with white, and I'll tell you why you're starting with white. So white apparently has the heaviest consistency of all acrylic paint, and so when you put it on the bottom of a dirty cup, put some of each color on top of there. When you put it on the bottom of a dirty cup and then you flip it upside down, the white wants to go to the bottom of the canvas, and what happens then is all those nice cells start appearing up through the colors.
I guess that's what it is. I guess whatever the pigments are in the white are actually heavier than the other ones.
That's right. Yeah, that's what they say. And Karen likes the cells. And while she's pouring, I'm going to show you the 2 types of finished paintings. This is the type of painting that Karen's going to do. This is sort of a free flow dirty cup pour, and then I tipped it around, and that's what it ended up looking like, with lots of cells stretched out. And then this one was a puddle pour that once I poured my puddle, then I tipped it around, and it made this. So one ends up being quite blended, and one ends up being more consistent to the original colors. Yeah, so that's cool. So see what's happening in your cup. So there's a little bit of, neat stuff going on. There's sometimes you see cells coming up inside the cup, and I don't see that right now, so.
There was one earlier.
Was there? Oh, good.
But I overweighted it.
Oh, I probably put my hat right in the film. Sorry, people, if I did that.
Tip your hat to the camera.
I think you should do even a couple more layers, because I'm looking in these cups and there's still quite a lot of paint for me locked in. So this is fun having a friend doing it with me, because
I made a happy face.
I do this way too much on my own, and this is a great way to spend time with friends and get my painting in. Yay!
Paint and camaraderie.
Yes. Okay, so I think that might be enough paint for you. And are you liking that there's that much white? I mean, it's hard to tell in the cup whether or not it'll pour.
It feels like a lot of white.
It does. So do you want to put any more of the other colors in before I start stealing the paint from you?
Okay, maybe I'll put a little dark in it.
There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the darkest color for my puddle pour. This is a puddle pour. Oh, what's happening with me? Oh, and by the way, Karen was nice enough to put my push pins in both the canvases, so we have feet, so that when it pours off the canvas, it won't make a mess of the underside. So, and we have some nice parchment paper, just it cleans up nicer. And move my beautiful footstool so I don't get paint all over it. This was my Auntie Yvette's footstool, and she was an artist too.
Hi, Auntie Yvette.
Yeah, hello Auntie Yvette. She went to heaven.
She's watching over us.
Yeah, I hope she's enjoying this. So there's, you know what, I think I'll do my white last at this this point because of that whole idea that white is supposed to drop to the bottom of the canvas. Which order?
Chocolate, pumpkin.
Yeah.
And we'll call it marshmallow.
Oh, yummy. You must be hungry.
The American Thanksgiving.
Actually, we do, one of our traditions to with our turkey dinner is yams with little mini marshmallows melted on top. And apparently that's an American thing, but we're Canadian. Isn't that interesting? Do you guys do that in your family?
No, our family's used to be all about the jellied salads.
Oh.
And my dad
Remember that?
hated jelly salads. Tomato aspic?
What?
Tomato aspic.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, he despised it. It's like tomato jello.
Ooh, that sounds terrible. So tell us if you know how do you say it? Tomato aspic?
Tomato aspic.
Huh. So, something to comment on. Anyone who's tasted that. What does that taste like? I remember some kind of lime jello salad that had...
the fruit floating in it?
Yeah, either mandarin oranges or celery. I think my great aunt used to make that, but it's been years.
And my auntie made one with Coke.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So we should turn this into a recipe channel, I think. We have lots of ideas for your Thanksgiving dinner. And
for terrible food.
In Canada. Thanksgiving is this weekend. Anyways, okay, Karen, so why don't you do your free flow pour? So what you want to make sure is to get, near the corners, maybe in the first part of your pouring, and then kind of finish off in the middle so that just to make sure there's enough paint for the edges.
Start doing a border?
Yeah, so just, kind of, sure. Just,
and don't, should I swirl it?
Yeah, nope, don't swirl it around. Just let it do its thing out of the cup.
Let it happen.
Let it happen.
That's what Eli always says. Just let it happen, Mom.
Oh, look at that. It's beautiful already.
Oh, too much?
No, it's great. Keep going. Keep going. Use it all because you need it to have tons of flow. I may even do some more.
And then go into the middle?
Yep.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to even do a couple more little puddles in my corners just so I don't have to pour too much in case I like what's going on. So I don't see a lot of cells on mine yet, but you have some bubbles. That's good because your bubbles, I forgot to mention, I hope you're okay with using a torch. What do you think about a torch? Do you want me to do it?
It's like, yeah, back to the recipe thing. It's like, what is it that you do?
Yeah. I didn't know this was a cooking channel.
I don't know. It's the colors. It looks like a geode now. We're going to move into geology.
Okay. That's what I like about it. Almost all the earthy pours look so much like aerial photography of the actual earth. Love that. Yeah. Oh, I have some kind of cells, kind of really teensy-tiny ones.
This is very cool.
Yeah, see the difference? Like yours blends so incredibly, even without tipping. And so before we tip, if we're going to torch, we usually do the torching before you tip because... Do you want me to show you? I'll do a little...
Torching is about the cells, correct?
Yeah, it's about popping these bubbles that you see. Oh, wait, here's my torch on. There we go. So you see how they pop a little bit? You don't want to get too close because you could actually melt or burn the paint. But it's just popping those bubbles. Woo. So do you want me to keep going or do you want to try it?
Oh, I should try it.
Yeah, you should. Okay, so you just pull this down. Push that, and then you got to hold it in. So you got to hold that in for the flame to
push this down.
So I've already got it down. So you just got to click it, yeah, and then hold on, yeah. And don't get too close and move it around pretty quickly so it doesn't melt anything. And you'll see results if you're close enough, and you'll see no results if you're not close enough. So pull that down, yeah, and push that in.
Take it off the safety.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear that? Whoops.
That one was a toasted marshmallow.
World of the internet, don't do that. This is a show of what not to do as much as what to do.
And that's why I'm here.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can get a little more to pop up of it. I think you've done a pretty much what it's going to do. And I'm going to torch mine too and see. Oh, do you see all those things that just appeared? Yeah, it was just like, hello. I don't know if the camera can pick up on those because they're so small. I get very small cells with the proportions of things that I use, but I don't love just all cells anyways, but anyways, I do like some. Okay, so let's tip. So maybe I'll do my tipping first.
You go first, yeah.
So you really, it's so, oh, this is allowed. At the edges, you can kind of let the flow, like help the flow, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I have a water flow here.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm just kind of touching this perimeter right here, just because if I don't, it kind of won't start flowing over that one spot. So now that I've got it touched, I can decide what part of the painting I want to pour off and what part I want to save. I'm finding there's way too much white in my pour for my liking. So if I pour some off, I'm hoping that some of the colors from underneath will come up through. Normally I wouldn't want to pour this much.
So it looks almost like wood grain now.
Oh yeah. And a couple of cells are appearing as I pour it, like there's just so much paint going on here. And then if you pour slowly, different things happen too. Like I'm pouring pretty quick. And maybe making my decisions probably too fast, but you see how there's that orange coming up through? I really like that. I want more of that.
It's kind of like bleeding down into it.
Yeah. So if I can get rid of some of that white paint, just kind of... I was using a different brand of white this time, so this white isn't settling to the bottom as much as some other whites. And then what you can also do is pick up some from the kind of the tray that it drips on to finish off the edges. Ugh, that is not the color I want on the edge. I want to pick like a similar color that's coming from the top, like a nice white, because that's what was at the top there. And let it flow over. Anyways, you can do some tipping now if you'd like.
Shall I do around the edges first?
Sure.
Should I pull this out?
So just a little, like just touch it. You don't have to actually paint with your finger, but just kind of release it like that.
Okay. You are released.
I can kind of try to do my edges. So yeah, I like this pour, but I was imagining more orange. And so
we'll see what happens with mine, because
you might end up with more color.
I don't see a lot in mine yet.
The white really just decided that it wanted to be seen. So if I want to change that, I can. Because I still have so much paint on my canvas, I can actually just add the colors that I want in. And then do some more tipping so that it blends better. Like I wouldn't just leave it like this with blobs of color just sitting there.
Okay, are we ready to flow?
Get some flow. And then some of those nice cells will stretch out. And so don't worry about saving every single bit. Like you can let some edge pour right off if you want, and just try to save what you like. I really like some of this white here. If I were you, I would save some of that. Maybe go like diagonal maybe, so that it stretches that way. And then I'll shut up because you can do your own thing. Yeah, it's neat, eh? That's so cool. Oh my goodness, look at it. I'm liking yours a lot. I'm going to have to tip mine to get some of this flowing.
And how do you know when to stop?
Yeah. I would tip it that way a little bit. Get some of that white, and then maybe stop and just put it down for a second, and just let your eyes look at it and go, do you think that looks complete to you? Yeah, mess around with the corners. Put some, and if you want, you can even use a stick to pick up the paint for the corners if there's edges.
Oh, there we go. Got it by its feet.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's like ribbons, hey? I like that. So interesting how my dark stayed dark and yours blended. Like what got a lot light. I would like to see something more like that with more of these dark colors in it. Like a blend of both these paintings. Actually, it'd be fun to do one method on half a painting and then the other method on the other half.
Ooh, yeah.
Let it dry in between. That'd be kind of fun. That's the neat thing about this type of painting is each time you do it, you think of another experiment you can try. Yeah. So that is our autumnal paint pour for today with my friend Karen and I. I hope you enjoyed that. And please comment in the comments what you thought of it. And even where you're from. I love to know who is watching and where you're from. So before I go, I just wanted to show you what they look like dry. Let me know what you think about the methods of painting. The one on the left is the puddle pour, and then tipped and stretched out to make the shapes that you want. And the one on the right is the free flow dirty cup pour. Makes lots of neat ribbons and blends the color a lot more. Thank you so much to my friend Karen. That was a really fun time doing that together. I'd recommend paint pouring with friends. See you next time.